those were the pieces that the coaching staff and the athletic administration put into place. That's the level of support that they put into place. That was the level of expectation by the team, by the administration, by the donors. And so anything less than that would have been a disappointment, right? And we're
I
proud of our
agree.
team. We're proud of the players. We're proud of the coaches and what they accomplished. Heck, to have the opportunity to go up to Boston, right in our backyard, play in the Fenway Bowl, and beat the University of North Carolina, get
We
that
did beat 'em up.
ACC monkey off of our back. Look, here's the deal. This season could have easily been uh 10 win season and 11
Yes.
Oh yeah.
win season.
Yeah. Oh,
Look
yeah.
at the teams, right? Other than
Yeah.
Maryland, and correct
We
me if
were in
I'm
every
wrong,
game.
guys, we
Yeah.
were in every game within the last
Absolutely.
3 minutes.
Very, very true. Wake Forest.
Had
Yep.
had two calls gone differently at
Mm.
Duke and Wake Forest this season. I mean, again, great season.
I
Would
still
it
think
could have been?
Syracuse too.
Right. Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? So we were in every one of those games with those ACC teams, and then to be able to close out the season with a win against University of North Carolina with the ACC conference in the suite next door to see it.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's huge. Great momentum, and again, hats off to Coach Mora, his coaching staff, and our players, and all of our donors that have gone out and invested and support our program.
And I don't know the numbers, but overall, we traveled very well to the Wasabi Bowl. It was great to see everyone and the camaraderie that we had. And I know, I don't know what we did in 2022, but we must have traveled better than we had in a while for the
We did.
Wasabi.
It was a packed house.
It was.
It was a packed house. The energy was palpable.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the UConn football alums that came out and supported us. It was great to see everybody. And shout out to our foundation team and the team and alumni that put on a great alumni event for everyone. It was a phenomenal experience. And look, Steve, we saw each other, right?
Yes.
The people that
Yes.
I was talking to while we were out and about, a lot of those folks weren't even UConn alums. That was the best part.
I
They
didn't
said,
even know
look,
that. Wow.
a lot of people that I spoke to that showed up at that game, they said, look, I live in the area and I came out to support the University of Connecticut because I love that university and what everybody's doing there. And I came out to support. I said, wait a second. So you didn't go? You don't have a family member? They said, no. They said, we just wanted to be a part of it.
Well, Boston is UConn North, so
There you
That is
go.
so great. That is so great to hear. That is so
And
great.
we as a university, we need to continue to leverage
Build.
that excitement and that support.
Build on that momentum for sure. Build on that momentum for sure.
Well, I got a quick question about NIL.
Oh man.
You got to go there right away.
Right away.
No.
Listen,
You got it for 10 minutes. You got to go. Right
It's an
away.
easy question. It's an easy question. It's not a hard question.
there are no easy questions when it comes to NIL, but go ahead.
No. The details of NIL definitely isn't easy. But this one's an easy question. The more of the NIL is going to be moving in house. I'm not saying all of it, but more of it is going to be moving in house, right? With the UConn Foundation. What is the kind of thought process from the university? And I guess part of it is probably because of revenue sharing. Because around the country, not just UConn, and I explained this to Steve, not just UConn, but around the country, you're going to see a lot bigger presence in-house from NIL because of revenue sharing. So you're going to see it at Ohio State. You're going to see it in Michigan, not just at UConn, right? So, but it doesn't mean that it's going to eliminate outside NIL, but because of revenue sharing and eventually the dollars that are going to be involved in revenue sharing, foundations in-house like UConn Foundation at UConn are going to have a bigger impact from an NIL standpoint. Explain to people how that kind of works, because just the high level part of like what's some of the reasoning, how that comes in house, and what that does. And I'll give you a quick example from what I read online, not related to UConn, but related to other universities. Like VCU, for example, it
Oh,
allows
geez.
them to pay they're paying their basketball players. It was reported $380,000 a year. Right? They don't have football VCU, obviously. So that was just an example of one of the things that allowed them, that they announced, that going forward, probably an enticement from a recruiting standpoint, but going forward, that they would try to pay their the men's basketball players, which obviously when you read that, you go, wow, it's a sizable amount. And that's because of rev sharing within their conference, right?
Their conference, yeah.
Their conference, right? So talk a little bit about that from UConn standpoint.
Yeah, well, here's what I can tell you. First, I think, and this is all coming from the NCAA versus House settlement, where universities can pay, 22 million in revenue sharing to players. I think it's a great thing that it's coming back in house to the universities. So we have more oversight, we have more control from a standpoint of being able to make sure that our student athletes aren't being taken advantage of, right?
Correct.
So I think that's a great opportunity for us, and we can leverage that into educational opportunities around economics and finance for our student athletes, and the goal would be to make sure that they're set up for the future, for their life after they play at the university. So I'm excited about that opportunity. The details on how we do that at UConn are still being fine-tuned, so there's not much I can talk about in that area. But look, David Benedict is all over this. He's formulating a plan with his team, and as that gets established, more information will be coming out from athletics and the ways in which people can still be involved in supporting our programs and our teams.
Yeah, that was going to be my last question. I know because Phil has to run.